What is going on, guys? My name is Will, and if you're new to the channel, I'm a filmmaker, photographer, entrepreneur from St. Louis, Missouri. With every video I make, I aim to inspire, motivate, and push you to reach your fullest potential. Hopefully you feel a little bit inspired and choose to stick around for a while, and make sure to smack that like and subscribe button for more awesome videos just like this one here. Now, I am in Los Angeles, California today with Joey. I'm filming a ton of videos for him and his brand, Compliments. You should definitely go and check it out. It is right here. And while I'm here, we were kind of talking about being comfortable on camera and being vulnerable to your audience and how that can really connect you with your audience and stuff like that. And so I wanted to dive into that further. So today's video is going to be all about how to connect with your audience through being vulnerable and being comfortable and confident in front of the camera. Let's go. So we're here in Venice at the canals, and we were just doing some pieces for Joey. I was thinking about it, and I think it's time to give you guys tip number one on how to be comfortable in front of the camera. So right when I sat down today and talked to Joey for the first time about being comfortable in front of the camera, you know, again, he was talking about vulnerability and wanting to be nice and pizza!
Free pizza.
Street pizza, that's what it is.
Gary would say you sell that. Gary would say you sell that.
Street pizza. Tip number one, talking about being vulnerable in front of the camera. Well, one way you have to be vulnerable in front of the camera is you have to be confident and really be comfortable in front of the camera. And so one really easy way to do that is to think of the camera like a person. And so what I tell all of my clients is you need to treat your camera like it's your friend. You need to name the camera something. You need to name the lens a name. So Joey came up with,
I got Fred. This is Fred. I'm talking to Fred. Fred's my guy. I don't know why it just happened. I was like, yep, that's it. And there's a level of comfortability and vulnerability, because you're right. You can only get vulnerability from person to person. That doesn't happen with inanimate objects. So I love that you said that, because as soon as you did, it made it feel like, all right, like I have to create this feeling. And you told me on the camera, you gave me a phenomenal lesson. Like you have to really push yourself, your facial expressions, your body language, which a lot of folks see the camera and they shrivel up and they shrink inside of themselves.
yeah.
Right, but Fred makes that go away and
Fred's your friend.
Fred's my guy.
Dude, and see, what's really funny is I was talking to Joey mid-conversation, and he said, I need to tell Fred this. Yeah. And I was like, who's Fred? Like, you haven't mentioned Fred. Like, I didn't know we were getting together with Fred here in LA. And then he was like, I was like, who's Fred? And he was like, Fred, that's Fred.
Fred's my guy.
This is Fred.
Fred's my guy.
You're Fred.
Yeah, right?
Let Fred decide what Fred's name is.
Yes, I like
It could
that.
be Frank. I've been calling it Frank this whole time.
Right? Fred Frank.
So like, we could just make it Frank instead.
True. And then he's got two first names. Then he knows, right?
Frank Fred, Freddie Frank, Frankie Fred.
Fred Frank. It's like Joe John.
Frankie McFrederson, Freddie McFrankerson.
Yeah.
Freddie
works.
McFrankenstein.
That's official. That's
it.
the man I trust.
That's it.
That's the man I trust.
And you know what we'll do? We'll throw a Mr. right in front of that.
Ooh.
Mr. Freddie McFrankenstein.
That guy's got a mustache. Let's put a
Yeah,
mustache
no, you know
on.
he does.
Yeah.
Look, actually, he's got a dead cat.
He does. True. There it is. Yeah.
So we just filmed 2 more content pieces, 4. I don't know how many content pieces we just filmed, but we were down at the Venice Pier, and we went up to the world's smallest front yard, because why not have the world's smallest front yard, right? And Joey did some great touches on that of like, be the world's smallest front yard.
Still out there in Venice with like this beachfront property looking out the ocean. Like that's great. Like that's a yard I'm happy with.
Be the smallest front yard, right? But tip number 2, right? So tip number 2.
Sometimes when I think I'm smiling, this is a smile.
Man, that's a great smile.
Right?
You're making me really happy right now.
Right? Like
it's
this.
Contagious.
This is a smile. Push your smile. Push your facial expression.
Okay, so what Joey was just saying is a big piece of tip number 2. Now, I'm gonna do my intro twice, and I want you guys to think about the difference between the two. Hey, what's up guys? It's Will. If you're new to the channel, I'm a filmmaker, photographer, entrepreneur from St. Louis, Missouri. With every video I make, I aim to inspire, motivate, and push you to reach your fullest potential. Hopefully you feel a little bit inspired and should stick around for a while, etc. Did you feel very inspired? Or What is going on, guys? My name's Will, and if you're new to the channel, I'm a filmmaker, photographer, entrepreneur from St. Louis, Missouri, etc., right? One is so much more motivating and so much more energetic. So the camera naturally makes you look depressed. I tell people, and I told Joey this as well, and what he was saying about smiling, sometimes you don't realize that you're not smiling and you're actually happy, but when you're on camera, it makes you not look great. So what you do to compensate for that is you have to overly exaggerate. You have to overly pump yourself up. You have to make yourself look amazing when you're on camera. So that's why I'm Will. You bring so much more to the table, and you're smiling, which makes other people want to smile. Because when other people are smiling, then they feel more connected to you as well. Good morning, guys. It is the next day right now. So I got my coffee, and I think it's time for tip number 3. Now, tip number 3 is a really great tip and a really important tip for especially people that are starting out vlogging, or people that are starting out talking to the camera or looking to the camera, or even something that you need to tell your clients before your clients start saying something directly to the camera or directly to anybody on the other side of the camera. Now, have you guys ever watched Casey Neistat? And you know that Casey Neistat always wears the glasses in his video. He always wears his glasses, whether he's inside or outside or in between or upside down or outside or anything like that, right? He's always wearing these glasses. And the reason that he wears his glasses, he made a video on it a long time ago, is because he likes to look at the screen next to the camera instead of... Have I not been in focus this whole time? He likes to look at the screen next to the camera than looking at the actual lens of the camera. So you can totally see the difference between looking at the screen and talking to the camera and looking at the camera and talking to the camera, right? So when you're trying to connect with your audience, or when your client's trying to connect with your audience, it's very important that you're looking directly at the lens. If you have a flip out screen on your vlog camera like I do, then it's only there so that you can set up the shot before you take the shot. You aren't looking at that the whole time like you're looking at it if you're, let's say, filming a client or something like that. But the lens can be intimidating, and that's why you have things like naming your lens and smiling and upbeat energy and treating it like a person and stuff like that. That's gonna make you a little bit more comfortable. But that eye contact is really gonna help you out. Joey and I were also talking about that yesterday, of eye contact directly with the lens, or eye contact just in the general direction of the camera, because like you guys can see right now that I'm not looking directly at the camera and you don't feel as connected. So very important, look directly at the lens of the camera, and that will make you come off a lot more comfortable. That brings us to tip number 4. So this tip, I kind of, I culminated this tip from an article I read, a YouTube video I watched, and a good friend of ours that you probably know her. Her name's Sarah, and we met her through the Triangle community events. So if you don't know what the Triangle company is, it's the creative marketing content strategy company that I work for. I'm the creative director there. Totally go and check them out, and you'll know exactly who Sarah is. She's a model in St. Louis. Now, one thing that she says, and she was really helping me with my modeling, is being in a pose that portrays like male modeling poses, right? And the same thing for female modeling poses and stuff like that, is to portray confidence. You want to be out and open like this instead of, you know, closed off like this. And so this portrays different ideas to an audience, and it portrays different ideas to an audience about your confidence. So when you are sitting in front of a camera and you're sitting like this, well, it looks like I'm hiding something. It looks like I'm not confident in front of the camera, and it looks like I'm not really here ready to talk to you. Whereas if I'm sitting like this, then I am very much more confident talking to the camera, I'm filling up the screen more and you guys can see that I'm really here ready to talk to you, right? Now, this is a very important thing. Sitting like this, out and open. Another thing that I read from an article is that when you show your palms to the camera, or you show your palms to the audience, it makes you feel more trustworthy, and it means that you're not trying to hide anything. Not that if you were sitting like this, you would be trying to hide something, but when you're sitting like this and you're not very animated or talking with your hands, people get the feeling that you're not confident talking to the camera, and that you, from the trustworthy side, they don't trust you as much. Those two tips right there kind of grouped into one tip of like your body language. You want to be animated, you want to talk to the camera, you want to engage, you want to be up and lively, and show your palms to the camera. So another great tip, I think this is tip number 5, is simply not giving a what people think about you holding a camera and talking to it. So I was editing and I realized that tip number 5 is completely and utterly out of focus because I am not a great YouTuber, but I try and be comfortable in front of the camera. So tip number 5, simply not giving a fuck what anybody has to think about you, not giving a fuck what anybody looking at you is, you know, just not caring, not at all, not even in the slightest, and you'll look good in front of the camera. Now, chances are people are looking at you because they're A, jealous, or B, they've never seen somebody talking to the camera before, which is totally okay because it's not a super common thing, even though as creators, we think it's a very common thing because everybody's a YouTuber. But chances are they're jealous because they want to start a YouTube channel themselves, or they want to have the confidence to go and talk to a camera in public, and they want to have the confidence to go and do something like that, but they don't. And that's totally okay. But you can't let that make you feel like you shouldn't be doing that, because you need to be talking to a camera. People don't look at YouTubers the same way people look at anybody else on the street, right? We're weird. We're walking around talking to a camera like it's a person, naming it Fred or Frank or whatever, and it's weird. And so you just have to know that people are going to look at you funny, but don't let that stop you. All right, back to LA. So those are 5 tips that will really help you out. You can tell your clients, even if you're vlogging yourself, those 5 tips will really help you out when you're vlogging or doing client work. And hopefully you will use those 5 tips the next time you open up your camera and start vlogging, or the next time you want to make a YouTube video, the next time you're sitting down and doing client work. Hopefully you find some value in those 5 tips. I'm gonna end the video off here. It's a new day in LA and we're going and getting some more shots and getting some more stuff done for Joey. I'm gonna end it off here with keep living like a drunk little kid. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.